Now that I have defined my scope and I have done the scheduling of my release, it has moved to the ready for development state, and it's gonna go in development now. So my release, to get the changes in from development related to the topics in Clarive, we will have a topic Chainset. The Chainset is the vehicle that will be deployed with Clarive. It's the topic that holds the relationship with development, with revisions from the developer, and that holds the relationship with the Chainset. So I have here a Chainset created for change request 2198. It's a DB2 change, and I have created a change set for the mainframe port, the CICS port, for that particular change request. When I move that change set, because I'm going to start working on my changes now, when I move that to indev, you'll see that by moving the first change set into the indev state, the related change request will be moved or transitioned automatically to the indev state, and the release will be moved into the indev state as well, because the first change set related to that release change request has gone in the indev. Going back to the change set, now we have this topic created, and with the topic we can relate the changes that were made by the developers working in their IDE, in the Eclipse environment, for instance, and they're committing their changes to their Git repository, and they're pushing their revisions up to Clarive. And here on the left side we can see our application mainframe app, and we can see the revisions that have been pushed upstream by the developers. So these revisions are ready to be promoted in the development environment, to be built in the development environment. So what we will do is we just will edit our change set and drag the revision in here, so that we can click on it and see what has been changed with that revision. We have the diff that starts up automatically. So we take this revision into this change set and we save it. So now we have made a relation with the change request, the change set, and the development environment. And when we now go back, we will see that here we have an extra button, which is a new job, which makes it possible to deploy that change set in the development environment, deploy to the development environment, which will generate for that particular change set a job that will be executed using a pipeline, the same pipeline as the one that we will use later for the QA environment, that we will use later for the production environment, but with other environment variables, of course. This will generate a job that will run, it will build our application, it will deploy our executables, our load modules, our WAR files to the target development environment. We can here deploy individual change sets in a it's the early stage of the development. In a later stage, when we will be going to QA, it's possible, or most companies don't allow individual change sets to be deployed. They want releases to be deployed, and possibly it could be that only a version of an application will be deployed. So we consider that we have done our job now with in development, and we can say, well, this change set, this individual change set is ready for QA, and we transition it to the ready for QA state, and other developers will go on with the other change sets that are related to the change request, to the other change request, and will go on working for the release that is currently in motion.